How you going, people? Well, I was with this guy when he showed up and kind of in his court. And then he turns into, he's just looking to start a fight and be a pain in the butt. So, we'll see.
Okay. Yeah,
It doesn't matter searching. They're fucking pulling guns on my house and shit.
This guy, he had a gun.
The fucking it was parked here. The fucking cops drove by and they were parked here.
Okay, the guy seems pretty cool. He talks to the cops. He doesn't get excited, even though he's got the women running their mouth trying to jack him up. So many guys go to jail because of their women. And it's just crazy to me that there's not men out there anymore that'll say, you know what? Look, if you want me to handle it, I'll handle it. But don't sit here behind me and stir shit up and then expect me to handle it. So they told him what happened. They couldn't let him. You're going to see him in a minute. They're going to get in there and try to irritate the situation.
They're not like disrespectful, really.
How you doing, sir?
How's it going, man?
Frank, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hey, nice to meet you, man. Hey, so I don't know.
So he knows his name because the car that they want to search is his car. And that's why he knows his name. I think the cops do a good job. They shake his hand. But these guys do a pretty good job right here. I don't have a problem. And I'm pretty much with the cops on this one.
If these ladies explain to you what's going on.
Yeah.
But basically, there was a shooting.
Okay.
And one of the suspect vehicles that was listed as like leaving the area, possibly a black Dodge Nitro.
Okay.
Hence why we're here, right? And
With rims or just black Dodge Nitro?
Yeah,
chrome rims.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, no shit with rims too.
Okay.
And so,
Okay, so the cop just told him that one of the cars leaving matched the description. Okay, that was leaving the scene. To me, this is enough for them to go there, ask for consent, and talk to the guy. Look through the windows. It's parked on a public street. They can look through the windows. They can look around the car for bullet holes. They can look for evidence of blood, whether they hit somebody, etc. Just because a car left a scene that there was a shooting, guess what? If I'm by shooting, somebody's going to give you, my car has leaving the scene. That doesn't mean you can come search it. It does mean that you can ask if I'm in a public area, you can walk around it, you can do it. If it's in my house, or if it's on my parking lot, and you don't have access to it, and I got a closed lock gate, then you can't come. So we're going to get into a warrant here in a second.
there happened to be a bike officer who was driving by and seen, obviously these two leaving the area, and that basically that's where we're at. We've already spoken with everyone out of this residence and them, and I think everything is, everything. We have no reason right now to expect or believe that they were involved, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a key comment there. Now, this guy acts like he knows the law, and he sounds pretty good, but he missed a whole bunch. They just said, we are 90% don't think she's involved. So, I don't know if that voids their warrant or not. I don't think they're going to be able to get a warrant for this, but let's listen.
But with your permission, at least, the vehicle's registered to you.
Yeah.
Just to cross our T's and dot the I's and just make sure everything's safe, we're going to ask you if maybe we can ask for consent just to...
This cop is real wishy-washy. I want you to listen away. We were going to ask maybe if we could ask your consent to maybe if maybe you'll just say yes. His consent, if this is me, it'd be like, look, dude, I don't think your daughter's involved, but this car matches the description pretty good. And we have multiple witnesses that said it was fleeing the scene and they thought it might be involved. So we'd like to search it just to make sure. We think we have enough for a warrant. We don't want to go get a warrant. We don't want to waste your time. We don't want to tow the vehicle for evidence. I don't want to do any of those things. But if you give us consent to search, we'll appreciate it. Maybe we'll clear it. Now, what the cop isn't saying is if you give us consent and we find fucking gun casing shells in there, we're going to arrest your daughter. And you're the RO of the car. He's not saying that part, and he doesn't have to. But as a citizen, you ought to know that. When you give consent, you may think nothing there. He's saying he knows his daughter's not involved. He doesn't know if his daughter gave a ride. He doesn't know if his daughter had a friend that was involved that jumped in the car and said, man, I need a ride. And he dumped something in the back seat or threw a shell. He doesn't know any of that. You never know. Hell, I don't even know if I walked through a bag of crank in a parking lot, get in my car, and now I got crank on my floor mat or in my carpet. I don't know that. But so this cop just seems to me like he gets a little wishy-washy. He's not real assertive on, dude, if you give us consent, we'll go through it. If we don't find nothing, we're out of here. If we find something, we'll go on from there. If you don't give us consent, we're going to secure the car until we go get a warrant, because we think we have enough reasonable belief and we think we have probable cause to get a warrant to search that car. So we're going to search the car. It's just whether you give us consent or whether we go try and get a warrant. That's what I would have said. Some people would say I'd be intimidating and that would be too aggressive. Well, whatever.
And just make sure everything's safe. We're going to ask you if maybe we can ask for consent just to search the Jeep.
No,
No, not going to happen.
No.
Okay. Because
you got a warrant. That's
If she's
fine.
cleared out, then why? If she's cleared out, then why?
Here's where the guy was handling it fine, and the guy said if you got a warrant, that's fine. And I was okay with that, saying, look, I don't want to give consent, but if you guys want to go get a warrant, go ahead. I got no problem. If you think you got enough for a warrant, then great. Come back with a warrant, and then you have court order saying you're authorized to search it. But I'm not going to consent. I have a right to not self-incriminate myself or my daughter. I'm not going to do it. And no offense, but the woman starts chiming in the background.
No, not going to happen.
No.
Okay. Because it
You
just
got a warrant.
If
That's
she's
fine.
cleared out, then why? If she's cleared out, then why do you need to search the vehicle?
We just have to, just to be sure.
yeah. Just
You already ruled out the.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
No, it's just not going to happen. So
95%.
no big deal. It's
We're
just
not 100%.
Okay, so the woman made a point. If you already ruled her out, why? Well, they didn't rule her out. You can't rule her. They talked to her. If her story's the truth, and if she told the truth, because we all know everybody always tells the truth to the cops. If she told the truth and what she said is true, then it probably isn't. But since we're out here and we got it, and it's a pretty damn good match, again, I don't know how good of a match it is. I don't know if they said, because a lot of times just rims and color didn't cut it. Normally, what really gave me a good indication of cars, if they go, there was a sticker, a white sticker, I don't know what it said, in the left rear of the rear windshield. Now, if I see a car with the color and the rims and the white sticker, now I'm thinking this is the car. Because, the odds of being the car and the rims may be fair to middling. But to also have a white sticker in the left corner, now we got pretty specific. So I don't know how specific their thing. Did they say they had, a zebra-colored steering wheel, and this car has a zebra? The cop didn't explain it. The cop kind of tried to downplay it so much that he kind of said, we don't have enough, and we don't have enough to get a warrant, so unless you give us consent, we can't search. Then when he says no, their attitude changes.
Sure.
No big deal.
That would just help us to get there.
Yeah. Well, I'm
And
for sure. So
we're just trying to clear everyone here, right?
Is she
like
cleared
you
or is she not cleared?
We're like 90% sure, right?
Okay.
That extra 10% would help us out a lot.
Well, I don't believe in that kind of stuff. So I know what my kid has done, and that. So if
Yeah. Every parent says that, okay? Here's a tip. Most parents don't have a damn clue what their kids are doing. Rick, you can't say that. I'm a parent and I know what my... Oh, shut up. You're an idiot if you think you know everything your kid's doing.
if I would have had
I know what's been going
anything,
on
I'd have said hell yeah.
with me.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because
Even today,
that,
she left today to come over here to get baby clothes.
but yeah, I know for a fact that there's no weapons, there's no nothing in that vehicle. So
I know for a fact. Let me give you guys a tip on how many times where people have known for a fact that I wouldn't find anything that I found something. Let me go with 75%. Because I usually didn't ask people unless I pretty much knew anyway. So it's probably closer to 85 or 90%, but I was being nice at 75. The point is, no, you don't know what's in your car. You let your daughter drive it to a club where there was a freaking shooting. Right there ought to be a clue that you don't freaking know what the hell's going on. But I digress. Let's get back to cops.
there's no need to search it. I mean, that's what it is. I mean.
Okay.
If you guys want to take it further there, it's fine too. But
yeah, that's your if that's your prerogative and that's how you want to do it, that's fine.
Yeah,
but for right now,
because I know what's what.
Okay, so up to this point, I got no problem with the cops. I really don't have a problem with him. But I mean, I think everybody's pretty much handling it the way it should be handled here.
You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I
think you do too.
You do for your daughter.
You want to take it a little further, and you know what I'm saying.
We just want to be sure. We just have to make sure.
Well, what rolled her out for you guys?
What's
You
that?
said she was rolled out. So what rolled her out?
Her story.
Basically,
what she said
yeah,
she did,
yeah.
and that
Hear the women yapping in there? That would have been a great thing for the cops to have to say. But now they don't have to say anything because the wife's running around running her mouth.
This whole thing's an evolving investigation, right?
Yeah.
Like he had said, we're at like 90%. We just like that little push of assurance at the end to make sure everything's...
Okay, this cop is really talking himself out of a warrant. If he didn't tell the judge what he's saying here in a warrant, then he's withholding information. If he writes a warrant and says, I have reason to believe that this car was involved, it matched the description we found on the street, and according to the description and several witnesses, I have reason to believe that this car was involved in a shooting and it happened at this place, at this location, this time, and I think located in this car is evidence of that crime, and I'd like to search it. If he writes that warrant, to me, that's a false warrant. His warrant needs to say, we contacted the owner. He refused to give us consent. I told him that we were 90% sure that it wasn't his daughter, but there's just a little bit and I want to search it. That's what his warrant should say by law. That's full disclosure to the judge before he signs it. My guess, if they tried to get a warrant, it did not say that.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And I know as a father, correct?
Yep.
I'd be, the thing is, you don't know exactly where she's been.
Cops trying to play the father. A lot of cops try to play the religious thing. Whatever you can bond with somebody you're talking to helps get them to say, oh, you're a good guy and maybe I'll just cooperate with you. I mean, that's just how cops do business. There's a couple of case laws out there to where a cop pushed it too far in an interrogation room, played the Catholic card, told the guy, wouldn't you want to confess? Don't you want to confess your sins to God, blah, blah. The guy ended up telling him, and they lost the case because he used religion in order to get a response, and they looked at it as coercive, using a religion and making the guy believe that he was a religious counselor or mentor when he took the statement versus an agent of the government trying to use against him. And I forgot the case. Somebody, if they remember what it was. But I remember they got pulled out, and for a while there, they were telling cops, yo, man, don't be in there playing the religion card too much, because if you overdo it, you'll lose it.
Right.
Well, I know she was here. She lives with her mom, so she was with her mom, then she came here, and then she went to Sonic. I know exactly where she was at.
Okay.
I left her house, went to my ex-boyfriend's to drop off a shirt, stayed there for like 5 minutes.
I know.
Left,
Okay.
came here, sat here.
And we all know that kids and parents always tell the truth, and they always know everything, and their kid never does nothing wrong. It's the other kids, right? We all know that. If you're a freaking idiot.
So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
Well, I mean, it's our job to worry about it, right?
Well,
because there was a huge event, and we have to investigate to our fullest. Otherwise, our ass is on the line. And I'm sure you understand.
Oh
that
yeah,
too.
I get you.
So for right now, then I guess the Jeep's not going anywhere.
The Jeep's not going nowhere?
Yep, just for right now.
Okay, here's where it changes. And again, this cop didn't do a good job at explaining this. The guy's like, what? What do you mean my Jeep ain't going nowhere? It's my damn Jeep. If I want to drive it, I'll drive it. Are you arresting me or are you detaining me? The cop should have said, look, guy, because you don't want to give us consent, and that's your right, and I'm not faulting you for that, the only way we can get in that car is to get a warrant, and we think we have probable cause to get a warrant. And what we're going to do is what's called freezing the situation. So your car is frozen as of right now because we think it's involved in a crime, and we're in the process of getting a warrant. And we can't let you drive it off and maybe destroy evidence. We can't let you move it, and we can't give anybody access to it. And we do the same thing if you were in your house and we thought there was in the house. We would remove people, secure the house, wait for the warrant, and then go in and search. Perfectly legal. That's the process. So your car can't move. If he'd explained it like this, he may have not gotten the attitude. But even not explaining it, the guy with the attitude, here's where I lose it for the citizen. Now he's just being a punk, and he wants to be tough in front of his daughter and his wife.
So was she detained?
Is that even a Jeep?
No.
Okay,
No,
then we
she's
can
not.
go anywhere we
No,
want.
But right now,
What do you mean?
no.
I can get in my car and I can leave with my car.
Well,
Am I detained?
You just told us to get a warrant.
Yeah, get a warrant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
So-
the route we're
So you're
gonna
going to take time to get a
Get
warrant?
a warrant.
yeah.
Okay, you better have some pretty good proof that this is the vehicle if you want to get a warrant.
We don't make that decision.
Because
as
it's
judge.
called proof.
See, actually, you don't need proof to get a warrant. You need probable cause, and you have to articulate what that probable cause is, and you just have to have a fair probability. That is a very low. People think if you get a warrant, oh man, you must have some good info. It's a small standard. You need a fair probability that you will find evidence. It is an extremely low standard, and I don't know why people think a warrant is so tough because nobody does them, and they make them so difficult. But getting a warrant is pretty damn easy.
Okay, you better have some pretty good proof that this is the vehicle if you want to get a warrant.
We don't make that decision.
Because it's called proof to get a warrant, not just a hearsay.
Probable cause action.
Hearsay. So.
Well, then let them get a warrant. They
So
can search it, they
we'll
get a
present the probable cause to the judge. The judge will either grant the warrant or deny the warrant.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
Exactly. The cops are being totally cool, and they are saying what they need to say. Maybe they're not explaining it as well as they should, but they are being cool. I got no problem with these cops.
But in the meantime, it has to stay where it's at.
Why can't you just let them search it?
Because it's
so
bullshit.
stupid.
It's bullshit.
Yeah,
Hey,
I know.
we're kind of past that point
You
now.
know.
So.
Okay, so the woman now says, why don't you just let them search it? And a cop said, we're past that point. And somebody go, the cop's being a dick now. No, he's not. Because if they find evidence, and if they find evidence because she changed her mind, now the defense attorney will be saying, you know what, officer, you intimidated them that you were going to get a warrant. You didn't have enough to get a warrant. And then when you intimidated them and you stood there and told them that they couldn't get in their vehicle and you detained them and wouldn't let them move. Not that that's what happened. I'm saying this is what the defense attorney would say. You got that warrant you got that consent under duress. Therefore, the consent doesn't count. Therefore, anything you found as a result of that tainted consent search, you're going to lose and we're not going to allow. So once you say, go get a freaking warrant, a lot of cops won't let you go back. I've done it both ways. If a guy wants to change their mind afterwards and I'm okay, that, look, it ain't that big of a deal. And, and if I'm not working a freaking murder case, what do I care? Big deal. All right, so they squash the warrant, I'll lose. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, to me, it's just not that important to argue the small shit. The courts are going to do what they're going to do. They're going to rule bad. They're going to rule against me or for me. I don't care. Whatever. Do what you got to do. I'm just going to do the right thing. So this cop is in a mindset, no. Once you say, no, go get a warrant, I'm going to get a warrant. I'm not letting you go back because I'm not going to risk if I find something in there. So the car ain't moving.
Yeah, we are past that point.
All right, I'm gonna.
Good luck on that.
This should have ended right here, but it doesn't because the guy's trying to impress his daughter and his wife.
So what if I take my car? What are you going to do? You're not going to let me in my car?
No, you're not. Dad,
Give me
seriously,
my keys.
dude,
Give me
stop.
my keys.
Dude.
Give me my keys.
So this guy's going to jail. Somebody can be like, they can't arrest him. It's his car. You're wrong. That car is evidence. It's being secured. And anybody that tries to gain access to that is obstructing. And he's going to go to jail if he tries to get in that car.
No one is getting into the car.
What are you going to
It's
do?
being seized.
What are you going to do?
Put you in handcuffs for.
You're going to physically assault me for touching my vehicle.
I'm going to detain
Dad,
you
quit.
for
Please
interfering
stop.
with the investigation.
Is this car,
It's fine. I'll drive.
It's a black Dodge Nitro
Okay.
with big chrome rims.
And who's
It's
this person
exactly
saying
what we
this?
got. Witnesses to the crime.
and you got names?
Those are not names that we're going to put out.
Just go.
Just
If they're-
do their job. Let them.
I
do
have the
whatever
right
they
to
do.
confront my person, right?
What?
Okay, so this lawyer that got his degree at freaking Walmart School of Law School, I have a right to confront you do have a right to confront your accusers in court, not on scene and not arguing with the cops and not arguing about and not worrying about whether you're detained or whether he's going to assault you and arrest you. I mean, you get these damn street lawyers and the cops will look at them and be like, man, you're a freaking idiot. Go play lawyer somewhere else.
I got the right to confront the person saying something about somebody on me, right?
No one's saying anything on you.
The car is mine.
See, at this point, here's where I'd be my smart ass and be like, you know what? You got the right to stay the hell away from the car. If you touch it, you're going to jail. I ain't arguing with you. We're done talking. We're going to get a warrant. See ya. And I'd have walked away. And if he touched the car, I'd arrested him. It'd be done. I mean, I just, over time, you learn that getting involved in these discussions and these arguments and this tit for tat, and I'm going to show you up, and and they're trying to trip you up into saying something. You just learn over time. Don't deal with that shit. Do what you need to do. Do what you're authorized to do within the law, within the Constitution. Be right, and just do your damn job. And don't try to convince everybody on why you're right. and why they're wrong, because it's just not going to work.
Okay.
So what are you saying? They're not saying something about me. It's me. It's my car.
You're not one with the car.
So get your warrant.
Okay, we're going to.
Try to.
Okay.
Oh my god. Well, just let them do whatever.
Have fun with that.
Wait, no.
She's fucking.
Let's just leave them.
I got this all recorded, so. Because you don't wear body cams, right? No accountability.
See, now the guy wants to be a jerk because he lost, because he was going to impress him and tell you, I'm going to take my car because I'm the registered owner, and he lost. Now he wants to be a jerk. And this is where, you know what? It is what it is. He's just going to be any points he made at the first for being reasonable, he lost now.
Oh, right on.
Let's go.
And when you do stuff like this, when cops search your car, they can search it without tearing things up, or they can search it better, so to speak. And I know somebody's going to be here, you're a jackboot, you just said you're going to tear up his car because he made you go get a warrant. No. But if you're a jerk and you have angry cops searching your shit, they're going to be a whole lot less likely to use care and kick gloves and be nice. I'm not saying that's a reason to give them consent. I'm saying that's a reason not to be a jerk and to piss them off and be a pain in the ass. If he'd have quit when he was ahead, they'd have got the warrant. They said, hey, guy, we got the warrant. Okay, cool, no problem. Here's the key. Let's open it up. All right. And everything would have been fine. But he had to turn into a jerk. So, you know what? You poke a bear long enough, sooner or later, one of them's going to reach out and grab you. But I'm not promoting cops. I'm not promoting government violence. I'm not promoting any of that. I'm just telling you reality, people. All right. Well, then out there, argue down in the comments.